Let's discuss on the topic not all those who wanders are lost. There is a very famous poem of an American poet, Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. It is a composition that derives its theme from the poet's personal life, in which he encounters a dilemma regarding his aspirations as a writer or opting for a settled and secure life in future, living the American's dream. Frost chose to embark on the road less traveled, thus decided to wander for years until finally getting his writing published. He knew that his path would be unpredictable. However, he realized that if he kept his conscience, he would not be lost. Frost's life is a reflection of the fact that a well informed decision to go with the flow does not necessarily lead you to losing one's path, for it is a path that will guide you through the woods. Lao Tzu's philosophy of Taoism corroborates this observation. Ancient civilization of China followed the Taoist principle of Wu Wei, moving forward, considering the path to be your master. Wandering is an act of pursuit. It is a deed that requires the minimum required apparatus. A traveler's soul is at the core of the philosophy of life. Once you step out of shelter, you are bound to encounter boundless possibilities. These possibilities are tests your character, avenues for learning, opportunities for gaining experience, and moments of course correction. Once we perceive the act of wandering in such a way, we come to realize that our preconceived notions about the idea of wandering and the getting lost are open to scrutiny. Socrates, in his dialogues with Plato's, remarks that cosmic order follows natural law, and no living being is beyond this law. Therefore, no particle of matter is ever lost when it wanders within its realm. Our understanding of wandering as a deliberate and conviction based process of surrendering oneself to the ways of life must be analyzed. The basis of all religions, in Christianity, in Islam, like prophets in Islam, in Hinduism, Sufism, and Munis, have been the concept of wandering in order to lose their materialistic being but find the spiritual selves. The nature of truth seeking has always been ingrained in wanderlust. Humanity's greatest explorers were driven by the courage to face calamities and the ambition to find the truth. The example of early man's discovery of fire and wheel, his tries with food gathering, animal domestication, and eventually food production are also epitomes of man's inherent hunter-gatherers instincts that make him wander without being lost since time immemorial. Who is lost then? One might ask. Upanishad provide insights in that case. There is Chandogya Upanishad, Yajnavalokya said to Gargi, one who is lost is the one either forget to find himself or the one who never wanted to. This is a case in Chandogya Upanishad. Kipling, in his verse, if says, if you can keep your head when all others around you are losing thesis, theirs, yours is the earth and everything that is inside it. Therefore, there are pointers and guiding principles of virtue that instill self-composure, confidence, sure-footedness, and foresight in a wander in order to keep his or her on track. Today's generation faces such issues in cases of drug abuse, social media, and even career opportunities. They fail to keep cognizance of the guiding principles, and as a result are lost even without wondering. The Ajivika Sect doctrine of Nitya Veda says that destiny is preordained and one must leave everything on to fate. Jaina's doctrine of Anekta Ved, truth is always relative and may manifest in several forms, and Buddhist doctrine of uh, Asthana Marg attempt to reform the pervasive of fate. Buddha even says that it is possible to get lost even on a straight path. Thus, it is wise to be at the middle, the balance point, Balance is key to achieving maximum output from wandering without going astray. In today's capitalist and communist society, we sometimes lose our basic instincts of virtue, empathy, compassion, prudence. We get lost in uh, we get lost in urban jungles and yet consider ourselves to be leading settled, comfortable lives or metropolitan cities. This ultimately leads to stagnation and degeneration. You only grow if you can see an endless curving path. A ship in deep waters look forward to witness what is beyond the horizon. Thus, wandering is the process of synthesizing optimism with realism. The invasion of Alexander or Yuchi tribe of Central Asia, which later come to be called Kushas in India, were a result of clear ambition of political conquest along with yearn to wander and face all difficulties in the way. Harry Potter are inspiration for young children, not because they were brave young hero, but because they were gritty enough to successively lose themselves and find them objectives in life along the way. And the path they met friends and foes alike, which faced ups and downs through all this wandering. They had pure intentions and hearts of gold that never led them away. Wandering is also a period of experimentation. Great inventors, innovators, and now entrepreneurs have been wonders before helming most profitable businesses. Steve Jobs travels to India in early 1917 just to roam around and observe the country's spirituality. He ended up learning life lessons and establishing Apple company that become the first $1 trillion company. Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella, both from small towns in India, were inclined to the do civil engineering and civil services respectively. But life had something else in store for them, making them CEO of Google and Microsoft. If Plan A fails, remember that there are other 24 other letters in the alphabet. Wandering can make us lose several actions. Action wandering are make us lose several action plans, and but it gives us flexibility to try but try others initiatives and optimally allocate resources to get back on track. The nation of Cuba, there is another example. The nation of Cuba also wanders but nothing getting lost. Being only 17 miles away from the capitalist uh, United States, Cuba could benefit immensely by joining hands with it, but it decided to pursue socialism and develop the most cost-effective health and education system of the world. After exploring several models under Fidel Castro, that too in the middle of the Cold War, fields of music, art, literature are primarily based on the attempting to wander by rejecting the primary, secondary, and tertiary jobs. Shankar Mahadevan was a computer engineer before quitting his job to pursue singing and went on to become one of the foremost composers of India. He struggles a lot. Our struggles for independence is a definitive case study in wandering for a century but not getting lost. After the revolt of 1857, the colonial power was consolidated under British, who believed that by giving piecemeal reforms and carrots of self-government to Indian population would repress anti-imperial attitudes and make them lose the path to freedom. However, the wonderness of destiny and the lovers of liberty that our leaders were, they kept the movement alive through Swadeshi, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, and do or die in 1940s. This ultimately proved that in 1947 the wanderers had come home victorious and had not lost the core of objectives of their journey. The essence of education is enlightening of the sense and development of characters. Those who wander, who know that what they expect from life cannot be gained through conventional means or flowing the herd mentality. They want to learn what the road of life has to teach them. They are not afraid of losing the way, but are proactive in bouncing back on the journey that leads them to themselves. It is a quest of self discovery, says Bhagat Singh in Why I Am an Atheist, and so does Sahir Ludhianvi lyrics, मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया.